My name is Daphne Tuzlak and I'm a fluvial geomorphologist at Redfish. The study we're working on is a red scour study to understand whether reds are being scoured during winter months and understand Chinook survival and also other salmon survival during that period. We're doing the study at hiłsyaqŁis, or Tranquil Creek, which is on the unceded territory of Tlawokiak First Nation. Salmon lay their eggs in these nests, and that's what we call a red. It's usually about 15 to 30 centimeters below the surface of the gravel bed. And sometimes during winter storms or high flows, if there's enough energy in the river, it'll actually move those rocks and scour out the red. So what we want to understand is whether reds are getting destroyed by high flows. And so we're doing that by installing monitors within the top 30 centimeters of the bed, and then seeing whether those monitors get moved over winter. Because essentially if they get moved, then that means that the red could have potentially been scoured during a high flow. So the way that we're measuring red scour is using these monitors that we call scour chains. So essentially what we do is we're burying one of these chains in the river, and in each case we have a data logger. So if this was buried in the gravel and if a storm came through and moved the gravels, we would expect for our loggers to fold over as the river flows over them. It measures every 30 minutes its tilt, so we're gonna be able to understand when the logger was moved in the riverbed. We're also installing a hydrometric station at Tranquil, and that will measure the flows. So we'll be able to pair the movement of the sediment with a flow to understand at what flow do the chains get scoured. As a nonprofit, it's really challenging to pull off these research projects because we don't always have the support that, say, like an academic institution would have. And so what I feel like has really come to light during this project is that doing research as a nonprofit is all about teamwork, and it's about building relationships with those partners that we may not have. And so I think this project has been amazing for just working together, drawing everyone's skills together, and really making a lot of important connections amongst all the agencies and different stakeholders who are working to recover salmon on the west coast of Vancouver Island. The goal for this study is to add data to an area that we know very little about, and this is just going to help us in our monitoring efforts to understand what the limiting factors for salmon are and design the most effective restoration plans to help support salmon in their recovery.